Be advised, all units be advised, we got a barricaded subject situation. Gun! Gun, gun, gun! Back up, back up, back up, back up, gun! He's got a gun, he's held in here. Send me additionals right now, send me additionals, I'm just at the exit of Braddock Tunnel. Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all doing well. It is, hold on, I need this. It is 1:30 p.m. October 23rd, 2022. Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's been a long time since we last spoke. I need to make sure my settings is right, because if I don't, it's gonna be very sad and very bad quality. Let me just check. All right, we're green to green. All right, hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's been a really long time. I apologize. I suck. That's it. That's it. That's the only excuse I got for you. I'm a little low. Can I? Nope, I can't. All right, this is just me. All right. Anyway, so it's been a long time since I've been here. Hello, Agent. Hope you're doing well. And I have some things I want to talk about. Let me just turn down the music a little. There we go. I have a few things I want to talk about. Now we're in the 5M server right now. It's just me. We're not gonna be role playing with anybody today, unfortunately. But it is just gonna be a little chat. All right, it's gonna be a little chat because I'd like to talk. I'd like to have a little conversation. And see where we're at all together and see what the plans is for the future. And I also want to talk a little bit about my experience on another server. I was gonna do like an actual video for it, but I've been kind of bogged down in the video stuff I'm doing, and I have been doing since I've been not streaming, that it's kind of got put on the back burner, and I just decided I didn't want to make it that way. So anyway, I'll let it away. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's get on a drive. You know, usually when we're all talking, I'm driving somewhere, responding to calls. We're not responding to calls right now, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, the last time I streamed was probably about a month and a half, maybe even 2 months ago. It's been a really long time. And over that time, the server has died. Like, full dead. Like, the server was like like a little bit rough, but yeah, it is like fully dead right now. Now, when I say fully dead, I don't mean like, oh, they gave up on it or whatever. There's still people working on it. Hello, Catherine. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, like it's rough. It's rough. It's sad. It's unfortunate, but people are still working on it. And I want to discuss about a few things. I have a few topics here. Let me just pull them up for you. They were in the thumbnail, and I did alert everybody in the Discord. Thank you for reading that, hopefully. But the topics are edge gamers, other servers, economy, learning from mistakes, which is the development I did with the edge gamers economy, my stream stuff, what's going to be happening, my interest in Dynasty 8, I want to talk about that, and a few other things that we'll get into as we're talking. So edge gamers, like I was just saying, like the server is pretty dead. There's no one in the server. It's just me. That's it. You know, there's not much more to say there. I know the developers are working hard to do it. I know that burnout's a thing. I know that that's a possibility that could be happening. Which I hope it isn't, but it might, because it's hard to, you know, have everybody rely on you and all that. But yeah, it's been a lot of hard work on the development side. I haven't been in contact with the developers that much, but I've been assured the last time I spoke to them that there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Now, that being said, I want to talk about my experience on another server. So I played, and I don't really want to say the name, because it feels like advertising. I have Edge Gamers in the title, so I won't say the name. But I played another server, alright? And honestly, the server name escapes me. But I played on another server, and this server's a big server, right? It's like a big stream server. There's a lot of rules. It's kind of closer to Edge Gamers than the other ones. And I didn't enjoy it. Hello, Juicer. Hope you're doing well. I didn't enjoy playing in a solo server. And one of the saddest things for me to realize is that in that server, when I was playing it, it was like oppressive. It was crazy. Like, I was playing the server and I was doing my own thing, and like people were very nice and all that, but it was just like, it was just this like weird oppressive nature that I got like on my head, and it made me really anxious. It was really weird. I'm not used to playing with big servers. Like the biggest Edge Gamers has been around was 60 players, and that I had a backbone of like friends and everybody I knew, and it was fun, but it was really weird. I played it, I had a guide, I had someone from Edge Gamers show me around, and like it was interesting. It was very hard to understand, obviously. I locked in 4,500 hours in this server. I literally checked that the other day. It's a ridiculous amount of time. But yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird. I didn't like it. So after 2 hours of playing, I recorded it all. I went and looked back a bit, and yeah, it's just not a server for me. I did have a few people message me, bugging me, I will say, and they'll know why if they are in chat. Bugging me about the server and wanting me to join it. But yeah, like I did try my best, and I did give it a fair shout. I didn't come in with any bias or anything like that. Obviously, there's an inherent bias because 4,500 hours compared to 0 hours on a server is a pretty big deal. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. Now I want to talk about the economy for a second, because I was making a forum post the other day, and I decided not to do it because I didn't want to get negative feedback on my crazy, stupid idea. So I decided not to, which was strange, because usually I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks, but I decided not to. But here was my idea. Now, I play a lot of MMOs, and I would say that 5M, our server specifically, is more of akin to an MMO than it is a RPG, right? MMOs are like MMORPGs, and, you know, there's a lot of players, a lot of servers, and, you know, there's role players, there's grinders, whatever. I would say we're closer to the MMO than we are something else, because we do have that like mix up where there's people who focus on grinding, whatever. But something I wanted to make a note of, because this is what MMOs do, and I think it works pretty well, is putting in a money cap. Now, the idea of a money cap sounds crazy. Like, right now I have what? Probably like 50K or something, maybe less. I'm like very poor. Oh, I'm very rich, what the fuck? So I have 109K, right? So if the money cap was like 120K, how would that change the game? Would we have people going around with millions, and would that be a negative or positive change? And basically what the whole point of the post was to actually have a discussion with myself and with other people, deciding if this is something that we could get a use out of, because MMOs do it, and I think it works very well. Now, the things that MMO players can do, but we can't, is play on multiple characters and trade money in between, and store money stuff like that. And I thought about that, you know, like maybe that would work. Like maybe if you could have 120K just clean cash, liquid, and you could just have as many fucking cars and houses and whatever as you want. Not houses, because houses are finite, but like as many cars, guns, as much storage as you want in your house, whatever, right? Like, what would that do? How would that change the gameplay? Would it make it better? Would it make it worse? Would it make grinding less frequent, more frequent? Would people focus on grinding to the gold cap, and then it's like, all right, now I'm going to go roleplay, which would be my ideal? Because the way I'm thinking about it, right, is like, what if someone, and I say gold cap, I do mean money, I'm thinking about WoW. But like, let's say, for example, in my hypothetical world, that you get to the money cap, right? So you get to, let's say, you grind out to $120,000, and it's like, all right, I'm done, right? I have completed that. Well, that makes less content, and I would say a little less player retention for the server. Something that the server could do to counteract that is increase the gold cap a bit, or the money cap. So it's like, okay, as 120K, we got like 18 players who are at 120K. Let's raise it up to 200. Let's see what they can do, and it can be a gradual thing. Because I feel like having it uncapped, and I don't want to go in here, I feel like having it uncapped can really cause some major issues. Because, like, you go around and you have people who own the Playboy Mansion, for example. I don't know if anyone actually owns it. I just know that people are, in my opinion, too wealthy. So what, this house over here somewhere. I'm pretty sure, like, a group of people own the Playboy Mansion. Where is it? Am I blind? Is it right here and I'm just looking at it? I know it's like, it's not this. It's right next to it. Regardless, it's right there somewhere, and it's a big old area. And I know either a group of players own it or a single player owns it. And I feel like that puts everybody else at a disadvantage, because let's say you join the server 6 months after reset, right? You can't ever get up to where everyone else is, right? It's very difficult to, you know, get on the same level. And some would say, well, you're not supposed to get on their level in a quickly, timely manner, but you are supposed to get there eventually, right? I feel like lowering that ceiling would be helpful. But the original idea for the post was to have a discussion about it and saying, like, okay, would this work? What would be the pros? What would be the cons? Is it worth actually putting something in place like this? Like, what makes it work in an MMO? What can MMOs do differently? Like, one thing I brought up was that in an MMO, you have multiple characters and you can trade it, right? You can't do that in this game. You can trade it between your friends, but that's it. So yeah, it was like something like that. And, you know, after discussing that, I kind of got thinking about the economy and where I went wrong about the economy. Because for those of you who know, I'm the one who had the original plan for the economy. I'm the one who pushed the economy being very hardcore. Now, the reason I did that wasn't for me, because I suck. I have 100K. I'm not like a big grinder. But it was to make the server last a little bit longer. Out of my eyes. Who did that? No one. Okay. But it was make the server last a little bit longer. And I wanted something like that because while I am not a hardcore player, I do like hardcore aspects like that. Like, for example, something I brought up in the leadership thing, and this isn't on my topic list, But something I brought up in leadership a while ago, like when I was leadership a while ago, I brought up the idea of having a real time zone switch. So instead of a like 10-minute daytime, 10-minute nighttime, I think it's 2010, like 20-minute daytimes to 10-minute nighttimes. Instead of doing that, you would have a 24-hour period, and it would be based off of the server's time zone. Now, a lot of leadership members brought up some great points about that and against it, and that was that, you know, someone might log in and only be able to play into the nighttime, right? And I think that's a granted thing. So instead of that, I said, well, why don't we just increase it to where maybe it's like, it's half that. So it's like a 12 hour, so 6 hours on, or well, I would do 8 and 4. So 8 hours of daylight and then 4 hours of nighttime, right? Because then it would feel like more of an event, right? It would make it, it's like, okay, well, we're going into nighttime. Some of the police know that shit goes down at a nighttime because of visibility. You know, could be this cool thing. That got shot down too. And I understand why, because people, I could somewhat understand why, that some people don't like nighttime, right? I personally like it, but, you know, to each their own. But, like, that was, like, the same line of thinking of, hey, let's make this server a little bit more realistic and have a little bit more realistic stuff in it because it could be funner, right? But, anyway, back on my topic. Learning from mistakes. So, once again, I am the person who had the original idea for the very hardcore economy. Now, it did get changed. Like, the economy changed hands twice. It passed from me to Patas and Illusion at one point. It was one of those two people. Patas, I think, was the last one to have it. And it ended up to where it is today. But it was a lot more hardcore. So for those of you who are not in the know, I'll explain it to you. It'll be very easy. Basically, if you were to buy a banana and water, it would be like your food. So you buy like 2 bananas and a water, it would fill you up to full. And it would cost a large percentage of your daily hourly amount. And basically it would take a chunk. So let's say you start off with this much money, the food and shit, gas, whatever, would take this much, and you'd be left with this. Okay? You'd be left with this much. And the idea was to have this incurring cost so it makes it slower. Now, there's a lot of problems with that, which is it's basically setting your, let's say it's $100, which is what it was, I believe. It's like $100 wage. It turned into like a 75. Excuse me. It turned into a $75 wage, and it always was a 75 because you always needed to buy food every hour. That's the way my economy worked, right? And it was extremely hardcore. It was a little bit too hardcore, and it took a little bit too long to do. But yeah, that was my original idea, right? Because it balanced it, right? Because everything was basically like, you can do nothing, and you can get $100 every hour, right? $100 every hour. Or you can do something, and you'll get $200 an hour. Or I think it was $300. It might have been $200 for regular jobs and $300 for criminals. Right? And it was very, very basic in its thing. But it didn't work. It was too hardcore, it was too low money, and it wasn't something that worked. We had a lot of conversations in leadership. Austin had conversations with me, Nick, a bunch of other people. And eventually I decided to remove myself from the economy project as it stressed me out too much. And then a year later, I left the leadership team. But what I've learned is that economies aren't basic at all. Economies are like this very complex thing to where you can have something like, you can have a wage, like let's say it's $100, and taking away money from it, it's literally just, it's going to make it even more basic. So $100 a wage turns into 75 really, and it just makes everything slow. It was too slow at the end of the day. Something I did want to remove, and I did get it removed, and then some leadership member added it back. I don't know who. But I did get the this thing removed, the crypto stuff, because something that I said that I didn't want in my economy, because it was my economy at the time, was this, because it's based in real life, right? Like, why would you have anything in the video game based on real life? There's no point, right? And my point was even drove further home because people have gotten rich off this. This had to be nerfed, I think. I believe this was nerfed. Yeah, it didn't work. That thing didn't work. It worked too well for some people, but as a whole, that doesn't mean it works, right? Because just because you can go make like $100,000, like, that's not something that I wanted back in the day. And something I said in the in the past was that no one was going to be able to make $1 million. The economy was going to be really realistic in the sense that money values are small, right? So like $1 million would be the tippity top. Like $1 million compared to real life would be a billionaire, right? If you had $1 million, you're a millionaire. It'd be equivalent to $1 billion, right? Like that's the scale I was thinking about. Because I didn't like in the old server, before the whitelist, that people were running around with millions. Because it didn't feel... It not only ruined my sense of roleplay, but it also ruined other people's sense, and I'm projecting here because I don't know this for a fact, but it also ruined other people's senses of trying to get up to the same spot. Nerfed and unnerfed. I get it. Yeah, you're probably right there. So yeah, like I wanted to make the numbers lower, because if you see that the richest person on the server has 140, 120k, like that's not impossible to get up to, right? Like that's a lot of money, yeah, but it's not impossible to get up to, right? So that's kind of what I was thinking there. But you know, it didn't end up happening because like people like I believe Reki was the one who like majorly abused it, like ended up using the CEO to get like too much money. And then people had trucks, and then some people were AFK abusing it. I was a part of that later on when I was super poor. And yeah, it's like it felt super unfair to me because I played a lot and I was really poor, right? Because I didn't grind at all. Which was fine. In the eyes of leadership at the time was that you don't need money to roleplay, right? That's kind of been the whole idea for a while. And it's true, you don't need money to roleplay. But it does make certain things easier. Like, if I have this vehicle here, I could say that I'm smuggling out of this vehicle. Obviously, it's a police vehicle. But, like, I would prefer to smuggle out of this vehicle because it looks cooler, it makes me feel happy, rather than a fucking sedan. But, you know, it doesn't affect much, right? So, there is a point to their madness there. But yeah, there was a lot of mistakes made with the economy, and I don't think the economy ever rebounded after I dropped it. Because originally it was okay, but there, like, cops didn't make enough money, cops didn't have enough money, the passive income compared to grinder income wasn't even close. There was a lot to be learned there. Now, let's talk about stream stuff for a second. So obviously, guys and gals, I haven't been here for a while, and I am a little rusty myself, but I want to talk about what's been happening in the interim. So, for those of you who are a long-term viewer, who have been watching the stream for at least the last 6-7 months, you'll know that hold on, I'll read Catherine's thing here first. What I learned in Minecraft is to keep giving things to buy to keep the economy balanced. ST, nice to see you, T. But then you have to keep giving the server new things because it... Wait. Let me read this. I'm a little bit dumb here. But then you have to keep giving the server new things, and if you can, that can be exhausting. I understand what you're saying, T. Because it's basically an arms race, right? And yeah, you're right. More cars, more houses, stuff like that. That's all money sinks. And that's something that we did discuss. as a leadership team was adding money sinks, adding houses and stuff like that. But then I couldn't get control of the Dynasty 8, and I'll get into that later. Anyway, for those viewers who have been here for 6 to 8 months, have known that I've been talking about the Minecraft stuff for a long time. So the Minecraft stuff is just about done. I'm at my 4th video. All I'm doing right now is audio balancing. So I would say my 4th video is literally one editing session from being done. Let me back up here. So like that video's nearly done. That's my 4th video. The video's called, I don't know what its actual title is going to be, but it's Touring Anoth Kingdom, which is one of the big builds that I built a while ago. And then the 5th video, which is going to be building something I built on stream a while back, which is the garden area. And then I'm done. I need to make a few Reddit posts. I need to make a few YouTube shorts. That's all very small stuff. And then I can actually go public with the channel. And I've been working on that channel for a real long time. I've been working on that channel for 2 years now. Just to get to where I'm at. And if we were gonna go all told, I've been working on that channel since 2019. I didn't know I was working on the channel in 2019, but I did in 2021. All right, so equivalent to 18 months, I'd say. Like actual recording time. So yeah, that's almost done. That's what I've been doing. In regards to stream stuff, am I going to return to a stream schedule? Unfortunately, I can't. Until the server that I'm playing on right now is back up and running, I can't reasonably say that I'm going to come back to streaming every day, or weekends or weekdays, whatever. I can't because I don't have anything to play. I record Minecraft every time I play it, and the way I keep my inspiration up is by watching content, right? Taking inspiration from other Minecrafters, just watching Netflix. So I can't stream and watch Netflix. It's just, I can't do that. I can stream other games, and I have tried it. Like I did play when we came back and we came to YouTube. I did play a lot of Rainbow Six. I played a little bit of CS. I played other games, and you know, it didn't really work, in my opinion. I think the streams were popular, and I think I'm fine with like going back on the grind. But it needs to be something that I can play every day without turning my head, right? For at least 3 hours a day. And unfortunately, I can't play Minecraft every day because I'm already doing that. And I can't play Rainbow Six every day because it makes me too angry. So that's kind of the dilemma with the stream stuff. So I don't know where we're gonna go. If the 5M server comes back up, I'm gonna return to daily streaming of it. And I'm sure we are going to be re-releasing the server. If we don't, though, as a backup, right? As a backup, I might find a smaller server to play. Like a smaller server so I can not worry about having to try hard and be better than everyone else, so I can get like into law enforcement and stuff like that. Like I can take it easy, right? Because one of the things I like to do when streaming is talk about certain things and teach people certain things, and I don't want to do that when I'm being taught certain things, right? Not to say I'm not happy learning, because I am. I love learning. But yeah, that's in regards to streaming stuff. Now, something I did want to talk about, and I did message Austin about this last night, and that is Dynasty 8. Now, Dynasty 8 I've had a plan in place for a while. I only didn't end up doing it because I was running for mayor, right? And Dynasty 8 is something that I have been angry at the handling of it for since, who was it? Siggy ran it. Yeah, since Siggy ran it. So that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago even. Like it's a while ago when Siggy was running it. And I wanted to make it to where it made sense, right? I have a huge document that I made and spent 2 weeks making. 2 weeks, I would say straight. Like not like, 24-hour days or anything, but like 6 hours at a time every single day for 2 weeks. So if I just type in Dynasty 8 here, if I can find it in my drive. Oh, I literally just opened it yesterday. So I have a system in place for Dynasty 8. Now, I can't show you this on stream because I don't want to leak anything. But basically what I did was I took the whole map, right? I took the whole map and I dictated what businesses were in that location. So all a agent would have to do was look at the area. So let's say it's in Vespucci Canals. No. Let's say it's in Polito because it'd be easier because Vespucci Canals is a different thing. Let's say it's in Polito, right? Let me find Polito. Palito. Where is it? It is 89A. 89A. So the businesses located in Polito are as follows. Low tier, which is the lowest tier house you can buy. So like these small little houses, specifically, I will name. I would name that as like a super low tier. Like that fucking washroom, the water closet. Like I would name that as a low tier, but that might be like a little bit too low tier. So let me just look somewhere else real quick, so I can give a good example. Right there, that house. I would consider this house right here with the American flag a lower tier house, right? It could be argued between a agent that it's more of a medium tier, but anyway. So it contains low tier houses, medium tier houses, high tier houses, business, which is those things over there, industrial, and government owned, okay? Now I need to explain this so you can understand it, and I wish it would be daytime now. Trying to eat my words about the nighttime, daytime cycle. But if we look at it like a bit, not a business, a industrial tier, I would say this house here is an industrial building, right? It's a big garage. It looks like a work building. I would say it's more adjacent to the industrial. The bank, for example, government owned, meaning leadership owns it. It cannot be sold unless you get leadership approval by, you know, some kind of storyline, right? Business tier would be this a motel. Over here would all be businesses, and over here would be an industrial building, right? That's kind of how the idea of the system worked, right? It was classifying everything as a whole and telling everybody this is what this area contains. Use your own judgment on what this is actually, like what kind of tier this house is. So like, let's say, and this could be like a negative of the system. But let's say, right, there's two agents, right? Two agents, same person. This one person says, you know, that house right there, buy side drugs. Like one person can say, it's like, this is a low tier house, right? And the other guy could say, you know, it's a business, right? That could be a flaw with the system, but I think that's fine. You know, it gives a agent a little bit more power. Could be problematic, and also could be fixed easily. It's like, listen, if it's anything that looks like a business, it's a business. Period. But this that classification, so that classification 86 or 89A just covers Polito, right? There is like 70 more area codes. Like, for example, Chiliad, 82B. Chiliad is probably just government tier. Mount Chiliad, government-owned business tier and low tier. So it's business tier because... so it's low tier because of these houses over here. And it's business tier because it also comes into the lumberyard. So it was very specific, and it took me a really long time. I was very proud of the document, and I've been bugging leadership ever since to use it, since I made it, because it never got used. Two other tiers that I didn't list were skyscraper tier, and mansion tier. So something that's classified as a mansion, this is pretty fucking simple. Something that classifies a mansion is I would say this house is a mansion, right there. I would say, where else? Man, this house is so hard to see. Oh yeah, this house for sure. Mansion. And then the skyscrapers are obvious. Like, some of these are business tier, but... Or sorry, some of these are government tier. Like this one and this one. But like this there, like you could buy it under my system. Right? It'd just be very expensive. And I even had like money, like a money level as well. So like, for example, low tier would be 14,000 to 17, 25,000, right? Low end to high end. And that was like the whole idea. And I very much liked that idea. Like, I very much liked the idea of having it classified off of everything originally, instead of a guy coming in and saying, hey, this house has a pool, it's 1,500 extra, or whatever. Because I think that's stupid, right? I think that's stupid. There was also commission stuff and anything, but, you know, I think I covered that. Dynasty 8 is something I'm interested in. Dynasty 8 is something I want to run, if I can play co-op as well. Yeah. Alright, so, I don't have any extra topics, so we're kind of just going to chat until I get bored or whatever, and we might switch to Minecraft for a bit. But let's talk about the server a little bit more. So, I have noticed some positive changes in the server as is. I know they're not moving over everything, but, like, I know that that's different color. I know that Mission Row has been fixed. I believe it had, like, some kind of bug with the like flags and shit. That's been fixed, according to me anyway. Don't worry about my inventory size, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. I had a member of leadership give all my stuff from my house into my pockets, and they told me specifically, hey, go put this somewhere, and I didn't listen to them because I'm a rebel, and also I didn't have anywhere to put it. Since we're not in active play, I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, it's been a interesting few months for me, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing a lot. I've also been doing a lot of relaxing as well. Because I did stream constantly for like 2 years. Streaming's not that difficult, but talking all the time and finding something to talk about is. It's been fun. Can I get a jet? I don't know if they're blacklisted. It has been fun. I'll say that. It's been fun streaming, it's been fun not streaming, and doing recording, and I really want to be finished this Minecraft stuff, because it's been a long time. It's been a really long time. Like a stupid amount of time, that I've been recording it, like, oh man. It's been crazy. Can I get a cargo, Bob? I don't want to leave this vehicle here. Well, let me just check if they're blacklisted first. I don't want to leave it because it's loaded with stuff in the back. Yeah, break into a crane, get him. Fuck him up. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, I'll just come back. My car will be still there. Is there anybody on the server who can steal it? Oh. Whoops. No, there's not. It doesn't really matter. That's metagaming, Jeremy. Have you know? But yeah, playing on the other server, it was interesting. Hello, Jordy, and hope you're doing well. Not like anyone else gonna steal it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fuck! You see the fucking thing over there? Jordan, how are you doing on whatever server you're playing on? How are you enjoying it? This thing moves way too quick backwards. Good, just doing CID. On CID, always CID. Yeah, like I was saying, I did try another server. I did give it a fair shake. I just didn't like it, man. It's too many fucking people. It's way too stressful. I'll tell you in DM. I don't wanna say it on stream because I am under the Edge Gamers thing. Nick. But I got in. My application was accepted. So I'm good enough. But yeah, I did have some... I did have a lot of Edge Gamers members tell me to go to that server I just told you. Not the one that you told me. And I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. It's not for me, man. Whoa. Is that a frame drop? I haven't seen one of those in a while. Did upgrade my PC, so I shouldn't be seeing those. Ah, it's only 60%. We're okay. Yeah, over my time in Edge, you know, 4,500 hours. I'll say it again, because that's how much it is. I've enjoyed it, and I would do it again. I would do it again with in a heartbeat. And I really hope that the server doesn't die. I know we've lost a lot of people who I would consider friends in the server, which is unfortunate, really, because, you know, it's a shame to see a lot of people go. But also, I feel like as the community has grown and shrinking a little bit, like it's been okay, right? It's just that's what happens. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I would 100% do it again. 100% without a doubt. But it is sad. Can't underestimate that. If it took off again, I would come back. Yeah. I would say... I wouldn't say they killed it. But I think they had a hand in it, for sure. But to shift blame on one party singularity, even though they are the developers and leadership and whatever, I think that's too easy. Personally. Oh, skip frame again. 12%. Hey. Let's kill these browsers. Oh, there goes my music. That's fine. Listen, we can just listen to the plane. I'll turn on Spotify. Monstercat. Click. Alright. But yeah, to shift blame on one, it isn't for me. I did want to get Mayor, very much, and I didn't. The player base was there, but people got bored. Yep, you're right. You are correct, Jardine. God, it sounds so good. Oh God, it's so hard to tell depth. Yeah, developing a server isn't easy, that's for goddamn sure. Damn, it's still lagging. Anything else I can do? Ah, loud noises, ladies and gentlemen. Let's turn on these fans. But yeah, I think it's a culmination of a lot of things, but for sure, it would be ignorant and misleading to say that the leadership team did not have a hand in putting the server where it is. I just wouldn't say that the blame is completely on them, because it's not. But the last time we had a community meeting, I believe Austin talked about the server a bit. I don't remember exactly what he said. But I did ask a question about realism and if they're gonna have like one kind of like one singular focus instead of all of them, which having all of them is like one of the strengths of Edge Gamers in my opinion. But what he said was he's gonna keep it the same way, to where Edge Gamers, specifically a 5M server, is just um, is just like unrealistic roleplay or not allowed or whatever, or serious roleplay or whatever classification you want to do, instead of saying it's specifically realistic or not. And I think that's the right move, personally. As much as I would love for the server classification to be realistic, it's just not. And I had a lot of conversations with some other members of the server as well. Like, for example, I had a big old long conversation with, like, Halu, and he showed me what server he was playing on and what he likes. And, man, is it so much different than Edge Gamers. I was planning on shooting you in the face so I could steal the helicopter, but I guess not. Yeah, I had a lot of conversation with a lot of people, and then, you know, I haven't talked to anybody in a while in Edge. The last person I talked to in Edge was probably Austin. He is on the one that I joined. Oh, are you saying you're in that server that most of Edge is on? Is that like the super fast-paced one? Where cops are like, what is it called? It's just like, it's strange. I didn't like it. God, there's so many 5M servers. Fuck. Okay. They join another server. But yeah, it is I am surprised that a lot of people who are playing Edge are still playing, like, 5M. They're still around. They're just on a different server. But yeah, I'll be one of the last ones to leave the server, that's for sure. But while I am waiting for the server, I am gonna try to, you know, grab a little bit of stuff for myself. You know, if I can get lead of Dynasty 8, either on my cop character, which would be a conflict of interest, or on a different character, that'd be great. Like, that would be fantastic. Because then, I can kind of get a little self-reward for sticking it out, but also I can take control of a system I hate and make it to something I like. Also, I considered streaming my birthday, which was a few days ago. It was on 16th. But I didn't want to because it might have felt a little wrong. Because a lot of people who stream on their birthdays, like people give money and stuff like that, I didn't really want to do that. It didn't feel right. So I decided to wait a bit. I did want to stream a little bit, though. But yeah, I think that's everything I had to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what I'm going to stream next. I don't. But what I do know is I'm almost done with the YouTube stuff. At least I'm almost done the part I'm working on, which is releasing 5 videos and the other shit that I gotta do with it so I can advertise it a bit. But, man, it's been some hard work. Like, it's been some hard work. I can't say I've enjoyed the work I've done on the YouTube channel completely. I enjoyed a bit of it, but I do and have want to show people how I did what I did, explaining my build style and all that for a while. I'm glad to see they moved in with each other. Wait, who moved in with what? What? You lost me, Nick. You lost me. Oops. Oh, you're talking about you're glad to see that a bunch of Edge Gamers players are still playing and moved to the same server. Yeah, me too. I guess I'm gonna get a repair before I end it. But yeah, my birthday was a really great time. You know, usually I don't ask for cake. But I asked for cake and it was great. I'm not really a cake man, but it was great. I had a great time. Um, it was fantastic. And a game I've been getting into a lot, and I could stream it, is Phasmophobia. Man, that game is something else. It's a fun game. It's a really fun game. I like it. And I'm not a scary game guy. Yeah, run away, you bitch. Man, the unmarked Tahoe looks really nice, though. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I did plan on making this like a YouTube video or whatever, but a lot of times when I get on camera talking one-to-one, I just like don't want to edit it, so I'd rather just do it live, because it's easier and I can not be annoyed at my rambling. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think it was nice chatting with everybody. I'm glad to see that some people are still around. And hopefully when the server comes back, I'm going to get back to the grind of the server. Yeah, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And until next time, no idea when that time will be. See you later. That stream time is wrong. Don't listen to it.